Welcome, everyone, to the Kairos Public Schools Foundations and Leadership Academies Open Enrollment Information Meeting. We're in the middle of open enrollment right now for the 24-25 school year, and we're excited to present to you today. My name is Jared Austin. I'm the co-founder and executive director of Kairos Public Schools, and presenting with me today is Patricia Hobbs. Patricia, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Patricia Hobbs, and I'm the Foundations and Leadership Academies coordinator here on the Elm campus.
And also pictured here is Mr. John Seabug, who's our operations and accountability coordinator. He's not going to be presenting with us today, but he is a familiar face that you'll see around our campus. And so we want you to know kind of who we are that you'll see around campus very frequently.
All
Right,
right, so
Ms.
our agenda for this session is that we are going to talk about the background on charter schools, the mission of Kairos Public Schools, our beliefs and values, our community, academics, and accountability, and what we provide at our on-site campus, which is called the Foundations and Leadership Academy. We'll discuss the lottery and preferences, and then our future growth.
All right, so let's talk about public charter schools. We're going to give you a little background. Charter schools are state-funded public schools. Oftentimes, parents think that we are a private school or that we charge tuition, and they ask, "How much does how much does it cost to go to your school?" But we are free public schools, and it came out of the Charter Schools Act of 1992. So even after over 30 years, there's still myths out there that charter schools charge tuition or that we are not public schools, but we are public schools. Charter schools serve approximately 10% of all California students. We are an independent charter school of the Vacaville Unified School District. So there are some other dependent charter schools, which means that those are district-run charter schools. They have the same staff as the districts. They follow the same policies and procedures as the district. Kairos Public Schools is an independent where we have our own board of directors and our own staff. And our own policies and procedures. And so that makes us a little bit unique. There's 43 different states that have charter school legislation. California was actually number 2. Minnesota beat us, and we learned from them. But there's a law that was 1992 that talks about what were some of the reasons why they were invented. And it was that they were intended to improve the public education space, to be innovative, and provide competition within the public school system. And that competition is not intended to create animosity towards district traditional run schools and charter schools. It was to provide parents choice and opportunity. And that competition was intended to drive up the excellence of all public schools so that the students, no matter where they attend, would be the ones who win, because everyone wants to raise the bar in order to keep and attract their students. The mission of Kairos Public Schools is something that we live by. It's not just something that hangs on the wall. We actually operate them in the halls. And that's Kairos Public Schools is empowering generations of learners to think critically, analyze and apply knowledge strategically, and use relevant tools to interact thoughtfully within a global community. So we want your students to, of course, be successful in life and be very smart and academically excelling. But this is the core we want them to do. We want them to take everything that's being thrown at them today and think critically about it, analyze and apply the knowledge that they're gaining every day, not just at school, but through YouTube and social media and the internet and everywhere they get knowledge, to analyze it and apply that knowledge strategically, and then to utilize all relevant tools. So that is reference to technology. We focus a lot on technology, but we use it as a tool. Technology is not meant to be a babysitter or a way to check out of things. We want to find ways that we can utilize them as tools to ultimately do what we want to do which is to interact thoughtfully within the global community, serving that community. And we'll talk more about that later in this presentation. So next, we're going to talk a little bit about our beliefs and values. So our beliefs and values, these come straight from the founding of our school over 10 years ago. And is what our board holds as accountable for is excellence. So number one, we want to make sure we're providing an excellent education for your students, that we're teaching and training and equipping with excellence, that we're going to be accountable to you as a school of choice. You're not required to send your children to Kairos Public Schools. So the biggest accountability we have is making sure we're providing an excellent environment so that our students and families want to stay. Secondly, we have accountability as a public charter school. Unlike district schools, every 5 years we have to be reauthorized to continue to exist. And so that means that if our students are not performing at least as well or better than the surrounding schools in the area, then our school can actually shut down. And we've been operating for over 10 years and doing very well, that we shouldn't be at risk of that. But that is something that keeps us accountable to, again, providing an excellent education for your students. Innovation is something that we always are trying to do, trying new things, launching new programs, trying to do education in a different way. Again, adhering to the core mandate that came out of the 1992 Legislative Act. We try to do all of this by being student-centered, making decisions on what's best for students first, and not letting adult issues get in the way, but really trying to analyze what's best for our students and making those decisions. And we feel like we have modeled that over the last 10 years. And if you ask our families and our staff, I think they would say that that is something that we strive for. We also are fiscally responsible. So as an independent charter school, we have to manage all of our state funds, which are your tax dollars. And so we want to be fiscally responsible. We want to make sure that we have adequate reserves for any type of economic conditions that face our way, that we're making good, sound fiscal decisions so that we can stay open and all of those different things. And so that's something that we really value and something that we've been good at over the last 10 years. And then I want to talk about the pillars of what holds our community together. So number one is our community service. So I mentioned in our mission statement that we want to help our students interact thoughtfully within the global community. We do that in a lot of different ways through community service. So all of our grade levels participate in community service. Our TK to 2 students focus on our campuses and how to take care of the campus, serve the campus, pick up trash, whatever it may be. Our 3 through 5 takes responsibility for the city, which could be through canned food drives, toy drives around Christmas time, coat drives when it's winter and cold, all types of different things like that. And then our middle school, they are focused on the county. So they've volunteered over 80 different locations throughout Solano County, and they alone volunteer generally over 7,000 hours across these different organizations. Our second pillar is parent involvement. We cannot hit our core values without parents being involved. This is not a school where we close the gates and after you drop the students off and we don't want to see you until the end of the day. We want our families on campus involved. We have a parent advisory council. It's purposely called an advisory council, not a PTA or a PTO, because we truly want to run things by the parents, get their perspectives, and build and sustain a school that our parents and families want and desire. And so through all of that, we have lots of different parent hour volunteer opportunities. Parents are highly encouraged to volunteer at least 30 hours a year. It's not a mandate. It is highly recommended. And we provide you a lot of opportunities to do that. We have one of the lowest suspension rates in the county and well under the state average. And we believe it's because of the parent involvement that we have at the school. When you have friends and families, parents on campus, students just behave better because they know that Johnny's mom is watching them or Susie's dad is watching them, and they are going to behave better. Lastly, or our third pillar is our ESLERs, or our expected school-wide learning results. That again ties into the mission. We want to make sure our students are critical thinkers, responsible citizens, effective communicators, and self-directed learners. These are the transferable skills that we believe are going to help students for an indeterminate future. We have no idea the high demand jobs that are going to take place 10 years from now, but we believe that if we can help build these skills for the students, they're going to be successful wherever they go. And then lastly, accountability for all stakeholders. I mentioned that charter schools exist only if they perform well, and then only if they provide an excellent educational platform that families want to send their students to. And then we also have accountability for our students to make sure that they are adhering to all the academic requirements and behavioral expectations and attendance, because if students don't come to school, then we can't provide the excellent education system for them to be able to be a part of. And next, we're going to transition over to Miss Hobbs to talk about our academies.
All right, so we have several academies, but on our main site, we have two. That's the Kairos Foundations Academy Pathway, which is our TK to 5th grade. And then we have our Kairos Leadership Academy Pathway, which is our 6th through 8th graders. As Mr. Austin said previously, we have our ESLERs, or expected school-wide learning results, where we encourage our scholars to be critical thinkers. And we do that through amazing curriculum that the teachers have the autonomy to use and utilize in the best way that they feel possible. Responsible citizens, and with that, as Mr. Austin said, the part of that is the community service hours. We have several scholars every year by their 8th grade. They earned several awards for their participation in community service, including the Presidential Service Award. We have effective communicators, and one way that we do this is through our exhibition and momentum nights in middle school in the Leadership Academy. Students are required to effectively communicate what they have learned and tie them specifically to one of these ESLERs. Those nights are open to the public to come watch and see the students present their projects. And then, of course, self-directed learners. We want learners to be able to work independently and take charge of their own learning. And so that is another one of our ESLERs that we have here on site. So what's our recipe for success? Some of the things include maintaining a safe and supportive learning environment. We take safety very seriously here on campus. We do have a completely locked down campus where people have to be buzzed in through a video monitor. And we also have Ring doorbells at every door, classroom door. So when a student leaves to go to the restroom and they come back, they have to use the Ring doorbell. Teacher acknowledges whether they can see the student before they open the door to make sure that there is nothing out there. Student achievement, again, we expect our students to maintain that high quality academics and that they maintain the grade point average and the skills that they need. We limit distractions from learning. So again, kind of having that campus closed down helps us limit some of those distractions that might be out there. Teacher excellence, we make sure all of our teachers are fully prepared and adequately able to take charge of the classroom. We have multidisciplinary thematic based instruction. Horizontal and vertical sequencing, our teachers meet regularly to make sure that not only are they aligned within their own grade level, but they do the vertical alignment sequencing. So they check in with the grade level below and above through our grade span team meetings. And we are, as Mr. Austin said, very mission and vision driven. So we really exhibit what the mission statement says. As he said, it's not just something we hang on the wall. We exhibit it on a daily basis throughout the entire campus. So accountability, we have many items that make sure and ensure success for scholar accountability. So some of the things we have are if we notice that a student is not doing what they're supposed to, we can implement different things like SST meetings or action plans to help them be successful. Also, parent accountability. We make sure that, we are engaged fully with the parents, that we communicate with the parents on a regular basis and make sure that, they are supporting what we are doing here on site and helping us. And then staff accountability as well. So we're making sure that we always have the highest quality staff on our team and we hold them accountable to those expectations. We are proud to say that we have really good state assessment scores. We are typically the highest in the county in Solano County, and you can see that through these images here that we outperform the Vacaville Unified School District on a regular basis, as well as the Solano County and California as a whole. Our scores typically surpass them in all of those elements of math and ELA. Some accomplishments that we have received. So we have received a national award as an exemplar school for the 21st century learning. We are also nationally recognized as a top elementary school and middle school by the U.S. News and World Report. We are a nationally recognized middle school called Schools to Watch, and we have received several times the statewide Civic Learning Award. We have a very cohesive community on campus. We have lots of sports activities and community events. Some of the sports we do flag football, volleyball, track, cross country, basketball, soccer. We do many events, including our monthly dress up days and our walk to school that we do monthly, where we meet at a parking lot and then the kids walk over to the school. We have honor roll assemblies. We have our fall festival annually. We have a big gala, which is coming up. We usually hold that in April or May. So we have lots of events for not only the students, but the parents and many ways for you to get involved. Parent involvement and connection. We do have our Kairos Parent Advisory Council. They hold monthly meetings where you can come out and support and see what's going on. And they have within the advisory council, they have many committees that they need lots of support and help with. And we have amazing parents that show appreciation not only to the staff, but to the community. We do have a Kairos community podcast where we send out information on a regular basis on things that are going on or important topics for parents to know. We also have the Kairos Beanbag podcast, which is scholar produced. So we have middle school scholars on our media team that create this podcast and do a news station for on-site as well. And then again, we have countless events that you can come and help out and support, and we always welcome classroom volunteers.
All right, so now we're going to go into our lottery information. Make sure you did submit an application. Our open enrollment is February 1st through, our open enrollment is January 1st through February 29th this year. This is an extra day in February this year. So if you apply during that time window, you will be a part of our lottery. And there's always questions around the lottery. So we want to make sure that we go over this. It has a number of different preferences, including all of our current students get to maintain their spots. So once you're in, you're in. And then it goes into preference order of siblings and grandchildren's and other children's. There's a new preference this year. So if you qualify for free and reduced lunch, you will have a higher chance of getting into the school. And if you live within 1 mile of the school, then you will be able to have a higher chance of getting in the school. It doesn't guarantee because it is a lottery, and we have had siblings and staff members' children on the wait list as well. But it is it does increase your chances. The The lottery will be virtual, and I apologize, I have a typo on this slide. The lottery is March 28th this year at 4 p.m., not March 31st. It's March 28th. It will be held as a live stream event on YouTube. So just as you're viewing this presentation on our YouTube channel, just come back on March 28th at 4. It'll be a live stream. If you miss it, it will still be recorded and there for you to watch. It's not a requirement to watch it because once the lottery is concluded, all families will receive either a text message or an email, however you set your preferences up in the Schoolment system, with the lottery results specific to your child. All right. Ms. Hobbs, do you have any final words other than the deadline to apply?
No, thank you. And make sure that you do apply today if you haven't already at kairospublicschools.org. Again, that deadline is February 29th at 4 p.m. And then again, the lottery will be held March 28th at 4 p.m.
All right. Thank you, everyone.